Alright, y'all. So, it's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are back for another one. Alright, so the name of this video is going to be Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. are ducking Manny Pacquiao. Period. There are no questions that should be even, there's no questions that can be asked to justify neither one of these guys wanting to fight Manny Pacquiao. Terence Crawford and Bob Arum point blank turned it down. Errol Spence Jr. is now backdooring his way out of the fight. And Yordenis Ugas, who I said about almost a year ago, like 6, 7, 8 months ago, I said that's who Pacquiao should be fighting anyway, simply because, I personally feel like the PBC guys are not tested. Pacquiao is from a different breed of fighter. It just so happens he's older, he's been through wars, and people believe that he shouldn't still be able to do the things that he does in a boxing ring. He's a special guy, for him to be able to get in there at 40 some odd years of age and still be able to swing with 29 and 30-year-olds is nothing less than amazing. It's nothing less than a real accomplishment for Pacquiao. I don't know who this guy is. Hold on. I'm out here in the park, but you know what's crazy? No, we're gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, man. What was that? So, it's crazy that he can still swing with these guys at 20. At 42, swinging with 29 and 30-year-olds. Crawford's a little older than Spence, but still revered as one of the best boxers, welterweight boxers of today. And I kind of want to title this video, Manny Pacquiao is a better welterweight than Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Because at this point, I would think, nobody can deny the fact that he's not only a more proven fighter because of the level of competition he faced in his career. Neither one of those guys could match his resume. Neither one of those guys have been in the ring with the caliber of fighter Manny Pacquiao's been in the ring with. Neither one of those guys are willing to challenge themselves. Neither one of those guys are willing to fight each other, let alone fight the old guy in the room who's whooping all the young guys. Manny Pacquiao should be held as not only the greatest welterweight of today, but the greatest boxer of today. He is the best boxer out there right now. For Errol Spence to back out of this fight due to couldn't be more than a scratch cornea, a scratch retina, something like that. I doubt that he completely detached something or tore something that bad in sparring, because if you did, why are you in there sparring that hard? But sparring's real. You're supposed to get in there and test yourself, but it should be more of you beating up the sparring partner. If your sparring partner is in there whooping you that bad, what do you think Manny Pacquiao is going to do to you? And it brings up a new question. And it should bring up a new question on the mind of all Errol Spence Jr. fans. Everybody who opposes Manny Pacquiao at the moment. If Errol Spence got whooped that bad in sparring, what is Manny Pacquiao going to do to him? What type of a monster really is Manny Pacquiao? Was Manny Pacquiao actually telling the truth when he said, hey, I found Jesus and I'm just backing off of these guys. I don't want to kill them. I just want to beat them. Was he telling the truth then? And now he's like, what? It's in my best interest to release the beast once again. And he's now in sparring, knocking out sparring partners. What is he going to do to Errol Spence Jr.? And a lot of people out there think that Errol Spence Jr. is the best welterweight out there. They think he's better than Terence Crawford. So if Pacquiao's going to whoop the ish out of the first place guy, what's he going to do to the second place guy? Yeah, Terence Crawford might be a little speedier than Errol Spence Jr. Yes, he might be able to match Pacquiao's speed, but can he match Pacquiao's punching power? Can he match Pacquiao's ring IQ? Can he match Pacquiao's experience? Has he ever been in a war in his entire boxing career? And I'm asking these questions for a reason. If your favorite fighter of today, who you love and you think these guys are the best because they have belts, are not even challenging themselves, and when they do challenge themselves in sparring, they're getting whooped so bad they have to cancel fights, what do you think Manny Pacquiao's going to do to these guys? The same thing he did to Keith Thurman. The same thing he did to Jesse Vargas. The same thing he did to Brandon Rios. The same thing he did to Lucas Matisse. You know, I think these guys at PBC got smart, and they got smart fast as soon as they saw Pacquiao KO whoever he supposedly KO'd in sparring. And they said, you know what? It's not worth the risk. Bob Arum and Terence Crawford were actually right. We don't need to put our fighter anywhere near this guy unless we can soften him up first. And you know, I'm gonna keep riding with that as my reasoning for them quickly replacing Errol Spence with Yordenis Ugas. And say, I want to soften Pacquiao up fight. And hopefully we can soften him up, and then we can get in there, use his popularity to sell the fight, and have Errol Spence beat him so we can set up that mega fight with Terence Crawford. But, you know, here's the thing. Nobody knows what Yordenis Ugas is going to bring to the table. But I've always said I like that Ugas fight. I think Ugas is a tough fighter. But at this point, at this moment, I don't like it anymore because now it seems like a setup. Seems almost like that Jeff Horn fight. And, you know, back to what I was saying about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Those guys are definitely ducking. There's no doubt in my mind. You know, I hate using that word ducking. They're cowardly lions. You know, they're ducking. You know, it's definitely a situation to where both guys fear Manny Pacquiao. I would say both of those guys have a fear of Manny Pacquiao, and for a good reason. I'm not saying, well, hey, Manny Pacquiao is some type of god of boxing, but Manny Pacquiao has been tested. Manny Pacquiao knows what to do against a bigger opponent. He knows what to do against guys like Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. He's knocking people out in sparring practice. The guy looks so shredded when I saw him this morning on Instagram. He's making me want to start working out again. And you know, I was not at that point, but I was pretty shredded about a year and a half ago. And I know what type of work you have to put in to get like that, man. Because it took me a year and a half to do that, and it took almost 4 weeks for my shape to balloon out of shape. Because I didn't look like that 4 weeks later when I stopped doing the things I was doing because of some of the personal problems I was having. But definitely, I can't sit here and deny it anymore. I can't sit here and say, although I've said it in the past, but I said I was going to stop using that word, but I can't in this situation. Because of the Terence Crawford fight being stopped so abruptly, them offering him $10 million and him turning it down like he's getting that per fight somehow all of a sudden. And now for Errol Spence Jr. to back out of a fight for an eye injury, you guys are ducking, man. And nobody in the boxing talk or blog community should say anything otherwise. And everybody should commend Manny Pacquiao and really be kissing his butt for doing the things he's doing this late in his career. Because he could have middle fingered all of us boxing fans a long time ago and said, you know what, y'all take these new generation unaccomplished fighters and y'all watch them and be entertained by their fights of them fighting nobodies and claiming belts for no reason. He could have just said F us a long time ago, but he didn't. He stuck around to entertain us, and I commend Manny Pacquiao for that. I thank him. I'm enjoying these last few years of his career, and I said months and months and months ago, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. I know it because Pacquiao looks motivated. Let's get it. I think he's going to beat Yordenis Ugas, but I think this is a soften him up fight. Crawford, Spence, y'all ducking, man. Y'all some cowards, man. And if y'all don't fight each other, if Pacquiao beats you guys, y'all should have to fight each other. That's how I'm going to end this video. If Pacquiao beats you guys, he should no longer have to fight one of you guys and then fight the other. He should have to, you two should have to work it out, and then one of y'all get all those belts, and then y'all go fight Pacquiao. That's how it should work out now. And that's what Pacquiao should be advocating to Al Haymon for. Well, if you can't get me in the ring with one of those, with either Crawford or Spence, well, you need to get them two guys together, and I'll fight the winner. That should be the outcome now. He shouldn't have to fight all three of these fighters at 40 some odd years of age. That's ridiculous. And these guys don't even have to test themselves. It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are out of here. Where we at, man? Let's get on the park, bro. Yeah.